Hi, I'm going to read another book to you. Hopefully the dogs will stay out here with us and we can get this read. Let's see. Cinderella Skeleton. Maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll come over here and listen. Cinderella Skeleton is a book by Robert Selke, and it's illustrated by David Cottrell. And it's got some really good illustrations. I think you'll like the pictures. Cinderella Skeleton. Let's begin. Here's the cover. Cinderella Skeleton dwelt in Boneyard Acres near the wood. Third mausoleum on the right. Decayed, decrepit, what a fright. On the door a withered wreath invited guests to rest in peace. It was the pride of the neighborhood. And here's the mausoleum. And Cinderella Skeleton. Isn't she cute? Isn't she cute, Luna? Come here, Loki. Come here, hear the story. Cinderella Skeleton was everything a ghoul should be. Her build was long and lean and lank. Her dankish hair hung down in hanks. Her nails were yellow, her teeth were green. The ghastliest haunt you've ever seen. Foulest in the land was she. Cinderella Skeleton's stepsisters treated her with scorn. Gristeline was small and mean, and firmly packed with spite and spleen. Tall bony Jane, a scatterbrain, was just as vile and twice as vain. They worked Cinderella from dusk till morn. Cinderella Skeleton, it seemed her tasks were never done. She hung up cobwebs every place, arranged dead flowers in a vase, littered the floor with dust and leaves, fed the bats beneath the eaves. She had no time for fun or rest. Look at there, and there she is. Whoops. Who y'all talking about? Cinderella Skeleton? Poo-poos. Cinderella Skeleton's stepsisters dressed in fancy clothes, but she had only hand-me-downs. The others torn and tattered gowns. Her shoes had worn out tops and soles. In fact, they were so full of holes, they showed off all her bony toes. Cinderella Skeleton asked for help with household chores, but stepmother Screech began to shout, "You're lucky I don't throw you out. My girls are gems, you're common clay. How dare you even think that they should streak the windows or strew the floors?" Ooh, look at her. A mean stepmom. And there's poor Cinderella Skeleton. Cinderella Skeleton. More disappointment lay ahead. Prince Charnel summoned one and all to his frightfully famous Halloween ball. When Cinderella begged to go, her stepmother sneered and told her, "No, you stay at home and work instead." "No, Luna, no." Cinderella Skeleton watched the others leave in a hearse. Screech in mournful bombazine, her girls in mildew green sateen. Then Cinderella made this vow, "I'll get to the prince's ball somehow. I'll take action for better or worse." Poor forlorn Cinderella Skeleton sitting there waiting and watching them leave. Oh. Let's see what she comes up with. Come on, Cinderella. Cinderella Skeleton, off she marched without delay to the good witch in the wood beyond, who cast kind spells with a generous wand. The witch heard Cinderella's plea, then nodded, saying, "Bring to me some things I need, and right away." Cinderella Skeleton located what the witch required: a jack-o'-lantern, fiery-eyed, 6 rats, a trap held locked inside, 2 bats asleep and wings wrapped tight, a cat as black as moonless night, exactly as the witch desired. And here's the witch. Can you see her down here in the corner? There she is. Cinderella's talking to her. Cinderella Skeleton saw witch touch wand, tip-tap to all. The pumpkin turned to funeral wagon, the rats to nightmares, part horse, part dragon. The bats to footmen at the ready, the cat to driver holding steady, the steeds who sped her to the ball. "Cinderella Skeleton," the witch exclaimed, "do you need new clothes?" Her wand flashed magic to replace Cinderella's rags with a gown of lace, trimmed in silky ribbons and bows, while each worn shoe that showed her toes, became a slipper with a satin rose. Lulu! Shh, I'm reading. Cinderella Skeleton was eager to be on her way, but the good witch said, "Before you go, there's one important thing to know. You must return before the morning. If you fail to heed my warning, your joy will fade at the break of day. And here's Cinderella dressed in her new gown. Look at her, how pretty. Cinderella Skeleton. Oh my goodness. But she has to get back before break of day. Cinderella Skeleton reached the ball and caused a stir. The guests all turned to stare at where she stood at the top of the palace stair. As she swept down, she heard the buzz of everyone wondering who she was. Then Prince Charmel bowed to her. Here's the picture on this page. She's at the palace. Look at there. Cinderella Skeleton heard Charmel say, "Your beauty burns like bonfires ablaze at night. Your brightness fills me with delight. Dance with me, lady, I implore." She smiled. He led her to the floor, where they waltzed with graceful dips and turns. Cinderella Skeleton, gazing into Charmel's eyes, was so in love she was unaware of each hateful murmur and baleful glare that screeched Boney Jane and Gristeline, aimed at the lovers' tender scene. She danced till the dawn's first lit the skies. There she is dancing with the prince. Cinderella Skeleton recalled too late the witch's warning. She broke from Charmel's dear embrace and hurried to escape the place. Charmel cried, "You're my answered prayer." But Cinderella fled down the stair, distressed how near it was to morning. Cinderella Skeleton, her haste, as haste will, brought mishap. As she ran for her waiting carriage, pursuing Prince, shouting offers of marriage, she stumbled once, giving Charmel time to grab her foot and cry, "You're mine." Then off her foot came with a snap. What? She was running down the stair, he grabbed her shoe, and her whole foot came off. Why-oh. Now what? Cinderella Skeleton, ignoring the thump of her footless stump, reached her coach and cried, "Away! I must be home by break of day." They raced pell-mell past the palace gate. The prince kept pleading, "Lady, wait!" In his hand a foot, in his throat a lump. Cinderella Skeleton! Through near dawn her nightmares sped, but morning caught them in mid-flight. Coach shrank to pumpkin in the light. Cats, rats, and bats skittered and flittered away. Ragged and limping, she faced the day, her heart still full, though the magic had fled. Everything turned back. Here's the pumpkin turned back from the coach and everything. Cinderella Skeleton, her life grew day by day more grim. Her family worked her without rest. They knew Prince Charmel, mystery guest. She drudged, but halfway through some chore, she dreamed she's on the dancing floor as Charmel asked her to waltz with him. Cinderella Skeleton, her image filled the prince's mind. His days and nights turned to a blur, whirling around memories of her. So lovelorn, Charmel vowed, "I'll start a search for the one who stole my heart. She must be somewhere I can find." "Cinderella Skeleton, until I find you I will not rest," vowed Charmel, who traveled every place with her slippered foot in a velvet case. But no one, Duchess, milkmaid, crone, could match foot bone to ankle bone. Each snapped a foot off for the test. Here he is with her foot in a case. Oh my goodness. What do you think, Loki? Thinks he's going to find her get her foot back to her? I gotta get the pages separated here. Cinderella Skeleton, locked up when Charmel came to call. Screech pulled her girl's feet off, 1, 2, saying, "Wire glue, you're good as new. Surely it's worth this slight distress for the chance to be a true princess. Now hurry, the prince is in the hall." Cinderella Skeleton picked the lock with a longish pin. She heard Charmel's voice, his gentle tones, drowned by her stepsister's wails and moans. Boney Jane's ankle was too large and thick, and Christine's thin as a withered stick. Then Cinderella came limping in. Here comes Cinderella. She's going to try the shoe on. You think it'll fit? Well, try the whole foot on. Cinderella Skeleton, while everyone stared wide-eyed, she bowed to Charmel with this request, "Please, let me take your marriage test." Her foot bone snapped on and held fast. Charmel shouted, "A match at last! Here is my promised bride." Cinderella Skeleton, the rarest gem the world has seen, your gleaming skull and burnished bones, your teeth like polished kidney stones, your dampish silks and dankish hair, there's nothing like you anywhere. You make each day a Halloween. And here he is trying the foot on her, and it fit, of course, because it was her foot. Cinderella Skeleton soon was married to her prince, and they stayed happy ever after, their kingdom filled with love and laughter. Screech, Crystalline, and Bony Jane just shriveled away with envy and shrank to dust, and no one's seen or missed them since. And here's Cinderella Skeleton and her prince, happily ever after. The end. And that was Cinderella Skeleton. Luna, too loud. The end. Thank you.